And for more on this, we have Akshay Dongre joining us. Well, Akshay, what are the legal precedents, if you talk about, and the international law implications of the US actually capturing a foreign head of state and bringing him to the trial in US federal court?
Well, as far as the legality is concerned, then we are looking at a very gray area. In fact, it is almost illegal in the way the actions have been taken as far as
Right.
Maduro's capture is concerned, and now the follow-up threats that the U.S. president is giving to a sovereign country, that if their current leader doesn't behave, then they will have to pay a price. Now that's absolutely diabolical. If you look at it this way, if there would have been any other country, for example, China or Russia, if they would have been given such open threats in such an open manner, in a what they call a democratic or a legal setup, that follows a rule-based order. This is completely in contradiction to that is happening in the United States. The statements that are coming in now, what we are seeing is that the vice president is being threatened as well, who is acting as the interim president by the US president. So what we are seeing is a completely shredding of UN Charter, completely throwing away of the rules. A president of the United States acting like not only a dictator but a tyrannical leader that is threatening foreign leaders now with his military might. So it is, from what it seems right now, it's not just China and Russia that are ganging up now against the US. There will be big question marks on the support that is given by the European countries as well, given the fact that similar kind of aspirations have been expressed towards Greenland by Donald Trump. So you never know if he tries to annex Greenland next. In the illegal manner he has captured Maduro. Even though there were cases against him, even though there were charges against him that were in the U.S. court, you can't just pick that leader up with a military action, bring them to their country, and if we tell our viewers what are the charges, it is one of cartelization, export of cocaine into that's a drug into the United States, possessing of machine guns. And these kind of petty charges are level against Maduro, that are not in extreme serious nature, that would have required the US to send their military, pick up that leader, bring him back to their country, and then claim that they are in charge of the entire country now. They are going to sell the oil of that country now. That's absolutely illegal from what it seems, and is only going to isolate the Southern America further from the United States, as it is being evident with the statements coming in from Chile, from Colombia, from Brazil. Countries are enraged by the kind of action that has been taken, completely undermining the global rule-based order by the United States.
Absolutely. The countries are very enraged with this kind of an act. But what impact could this have on regional stability, considering international actors, particularly the Latin American governments, Russia, China, as you mentioned, and the UN Security Council as well?
Well, that's what I've highlighted, that the countries in the Southern American continent are not happy at all. If you just take out a few examples out of the entire grouping, the countries are enraged. The biggest player there, Brazil, is unhappy with it. The president of Brazil has already had tensions with Donald Trump. Then Chile has already said that this can be our fate as well. It can be fate of any other country in the future. Colombia already has expressed strong support for the Venezuelan leader and has called for his release. Other countries as well. Cuba is a long-standing rival of the United States, so that these are the countries there. As far as the UN is concerned, see, it's a useless body if you look at it from this perspective, that in the last 2 decades, UN has not been able to solve even a single meaningful war. They have been useless. The United Nations Security Council is also useless, given the fact that the aggressor holds the veto there in the United Nations Security Council. And if there is any kind of motion that is brought into the United Nations Security Council, that is the apex security body of the UN, then it can be vetoed, it can be stopped right there without any explanation by the United States, by even UK for that matter. So that is the biggest challenge now, and it seems that the regional stability, especially, is going to see some very dark days if Donald Trump doesn't stop right here with the arrest of the leader of Venezuela, and if he goes ahead with the invasion, we can see some more countries clubbing together against the US and the kind of action that it is taking against other sovereign countries.
Absolutely. With Trump also warning Rodriguez now. Thank you so much, Akshay, for all those details.